In ULI, we do have a series of books that we use. This is the beginner's book. This is my copy, the teacher's copy. So the ULI program is all the components of learning a language: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Most students learn how to read and write. It's not a problem, but it's the speaking that is important, and the listening. So all the components here, we have the videos and we have the listening components. But because we do, myself personally, I emphasize the speaking. I do have extra speaking lessons depending on the level of students, beginners to advanced. Of course, the books are tailored to that, but each teacher will have slightly different supplemental information. So for beginners, I have beginners right now, things like this: bingo, where you're pronouncing different letters, different words, the practice of it, long vowels, short vowels, peculiar to the English language. One thing that's noticeable about English, it's phonetic. It's not tonal like Chinese, it's phonetic. So we really concentrate on this. And just something like this, the TH sound, which is peculiar to English. How do we form it in our mouth? Practice. Any questions about pronunciation or listening? Any questions? If you have a question, just stop me, okay? Okay, so back to the book, which is very good. If you can see here, I don't know if you can see this, okay? We have, of course, the title, the speaking, the grammar, the pronunciation, the writing, and then, of course, the interactive activities. And most of the English books that you have to learn English is what we call thematic, which is you take a topic such as, where do you live? And all the vocabulary and speaking, where do you live? What country are you from? What do you eat? Okay, so it's a theme of each chapter, and then you go through the chapter. What I like about this program is all the interactive activities with the student. So you're constantly practicing what you're speaking, which is really what you want to do. And also listening. We have the CD, or the tape where you're listening, which is excellent too. Language acquisition is a matter of just practicing. Because when you're doing the writing or the reading, you can take a dictionary and follow, but it's the speaking. And what is peculiar to any language, of course, is the idioms, our everyday expressions. For example, we say, thank you. And in Canada, we say, you're welcome, which is the way we speak. But if you go to the United States, for example, in many parts of the United States, it'll be thank you. And they don't say you're welcome, they just say, uh-huh. I know, uh-huh. Like, what's that? Uh-huh. But that's the idiom or the expression. So if you don't know what that is, you're kind of wondering, right? But if you understand that's what they're saying to you, you're welcome. I guess it's very similar when you answer the telephone. You say, hello, Gwyneth speaking. But in China, it's way. I don't understand why there's a different word. But it's an idiom, which is peculiar to a language, right? So that's really what's important in coming to any school, especially ULI. Really, the mandate is you want to be able to live here, and in some cases work here. We have many families that come for their children. They want new children. Of course, children pick up language very, very quickly.
Yes.
The human brain is such, up until the age of 12, you can acquire a language, no problem. You use a part of your brain. Once you're 12, it switches to the other side. So it's a little harder as an adult. You can do it, but it's harder. But children can learn 3 or 4 languages. My son and daughter went to French school because in Canada, we have French and English. So my children went to French school, and like this school, they started at 4 years old, just speaking French. So that's what's important here at this school. You're only to speak English if you really want to learn. Just speak English. So you don't translate, just speak English. So my children only spoke French for the first till grade 4. When I learned French, it was a different method, not so good. It was grammar, reading and writing. So the speaking element was not with me when I went to school. So when my son and daughter wanted to speak, I wanted to speak French, go, no, your speaking is bad, because I never learned the correct pronunciation or the idioms and things like that. So it's very important to start that at the beginning, how you speak. And of course, children have the advantage, for sure. Any questions? Okay, so each class is, of course, we have, I'll just give it in terms, beginners, intermediate, advanced. Once you're into advanced language, you can branch off into a lot of the different programs that we have, like healthcare, nursing, business, management, hospitality. Now you can really branch off like any language, of course. But you need the foundation or the fundamentals of a language to be able to do that, which is very important, especially when you're communicating in our society. My, one of the beginner students, for example, when you go out to the shopping mall, just something simple like this, excuse me, where's the bathroom? No, we don't say that. In public, it's always washroom. Excuse me, where's the washroom? In your house, where's the bathroom? So even something simple like that, when you're in a professional job, like business or healthcare, excuse me, where's the bathroom? It's a little confusing. I'm not in my house. So even something simple like that. Yeah. So you do need these fundamentals before you elevate up to getting a job. As it says, Universal Learning Institute, providing excellence in education since 1996. You want the person to get a job, to live, if they're going to live here, yes, and to keep a job. And if you don't have the language skills, it's very difficult to keep a job, actually. You may be able to have the skill, you may be a doctor in your country, but if you can't communicate when you come to Canada, it's a problem. What do you do in China, Jackie? Jackie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do in China?
In China, like engineer.
Oh, an engineer. Oh, okay. You build the big buildings.
No, not for chemistry.
Oh, chemistry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one, huh? The periodic table. Chemistry is quite exact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chemistry. Chemical engineer.
Yeah. Worked in laboratory.
Oh, in a laboratory. Oh, yikes. There's so much about chemistry I have absolutely no idea. I just know when you put, when I bake, because I do a lot of baking, put baking soda, it explodes. That's it, baking soda explodes. But chemistry is a beautiful profession, actually. How many years did you go to university for that? To be a chemist?
4 years.
4 years, yeah. The same in Canada, 4 years. Yeah, it's beyond my thinking, chemistry. So why are you in Canada? I know why you two are, because you're working on it. So Jackie, why are you?
From children. Yeah, I accompany my children.
Oh, for you,
Yeah,
that's right,
yeah.
yeah. And how old are your children?
11 years.
They're both 11?
No, one 11 and one just 8.
8. Oh, 8 and 11. Oh, yeah. So you don't sleep at night? I know, I understand. Yeah, I got both 11 twins. Actually, this morning, when I went on the SkyTrain, there were twin boys. Oh, they were so cute. So cute. 2 boys, boy, girl, 2 girls?
One boy and one girl.
One girl. Oh, who's the oldest?
Yeah.
Who's the oldest, the boy or the girl?
The boy.
The boy's the oldest.
Boy is brother.
Yeah. I have a son and a daughter,
Oh.
but they're gone, married, goodbye. Now I can sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
A son and daughter means good. 好.
Yeah.
Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We say in English,
Happy life.
Yeah, we say in English, $1 million family.
Oh,
Yeah,
$1
$1 million
family.
family,
Yeah.
girl, boy.
Oh.
My mother had 7 children.
Wow.
Different times.
Different times, I'm number 6, which means I did whatever I wanted.
Oh, nice.
Who are you? Where are you going? Come on. Lots of, yeah, in Canada, people had many children a long time ago. My husband's grandparents had 16 children.
Please.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
They died young. Yeah, when people immigrated to Canada, like grandparents and parents, in those days they had a lot of children. Yeah, today it's very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. Well, Vancouver is an extremely expensive city. Even to have a house in Vancouver. Most people live in an apartment.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you live in an apartment, Ken?
I live in a basement suite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Even worse.
Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in Vancouver, so I'm very fortunate. I love Vancouver. It's a very cool city, but it's expensive, I know. And I went to UBC, my university.
Nice.
Beautiful campus.
Yes.
Beautiful campus. Have you seen UBC?
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Really
beautiful. Yeah, yes. It's quite, it's called the Endowment Lands. So it's beautiful forest and lots of wild animals. You'd be surprised. Coyotes, raccoons, skunks,
Really?
birds. Yeah. I don't think the bears are gone. If you want to see
They're
bears,
better.
yeah, if you want to see bears, go to Whistler.
Oh, Whistler.
Yeah,
Wow.
to the garbage dump. Do you know that?
I've heard
If you
of
want to
it.
see a bear, go to
Yeah.
Whistler, the garbage dumps. They
Oh,
come
really?
out. Yeah. In
Yeah.
the evening. Oh, you see lots of them,
Oh,
but don't go near them.
yeah.
No.
It's dangerous.
Yeah. But the culture also too, when we're talking about learning another language, it's also the culture. So what food do you love and how do you cook it? Like even this morning, Yanni said her friend and her came over and made dumplings. It's a big thing to make dumplings. Huh?
Mhm.
It's a cultural thing. So also to acquire the language, you acquire the culture. What do you like about Canada?
I like the weather in spring and summer.
Yeah.
The spring and autumn, but not winter.
Yeah,
Yeah, people here are really nice,
you're very kind.
friendly. Yeah, they like outside
Yes,
outside sports,
yeah,
which is really healthy.
yes,
Yeah, I like the healthy life.
yeah. We say we're very natural. We like natural things, the
Yeah.
environment, very sporty.
Yeah.
I have a friend from the country of South Africa, and she said when she came to Canada, she immigrated, what was funny about Canadians? She said, first, they don't care about politics, not like America, they don't care. Who's your prime minister? I don't know. And another thing is, women know about sports.
Mhm.
Yeah, isn't that funny? Like if you ask me about Canucks, oh, I know. So women know about sports because we all do sports. Of course, in China you do too. You're gonna do a lot.
Not as much.
Not as much?
Yeah.
Not as much. Way less. I would say
Okay.
way less.
Yeah.
In Japan, never.
Especially
Women
Never.
don't even do sports.
I-
But in Canada, everybody does. Women do a lot of sports.
Canadian is different.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Even elementary school, middle school, because they don't have the campus. So
Oh, yes,
yeah,
of course.
so the
Yes.
primary students, the most of the time they have to stay in a classroom, even in
Oh,
the
I
recess
see.
time. Yeah, that's very.
A lot of times because that's part of our culture, I would take my students out, we'd play baseball and go for hikes. It's very popular in Canada to be in the outdoors.
Yeah.
Ice skating,
Hiking,
hiking.
skating, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also in Vancouver, well, actually all of Canada, all the parks are free. So if you want to play tennis, it's free.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everything's free
Yeah.
in
That
Canada.
that is what I found when I come to Canada first, because like I used to play soccer in Hong Kong.
Mhm.
We have limited ground, so every single football court is like 3 people max. But in here, you find
Everywhere.
field everywhere, every
Yeah.
corner of the street. You have a park for baseball,
Yes.
for whatever.
And it's all free.
All
Yeah,
free.
all free,
Which is
even
nice.
tennis.
Even tennis.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
yeah. And if you're a good tennis player, go away. If you're a bad player, get off. Yeah, so that's part of our culture also, to be very outdoorsy, you say outdoorsy. Even, well, here, all of Canada, I would say, people are very concerned about their health. But, yeah, very much so. I think sometimes more to the exclusion of education, because in China, Japan, you're very concerned about education.
Yeah.
Canada, not so much.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but that's
Yeah.
true.
that's what I like in Canada.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
you don't want to go to school?
After I came here,
Yeah.
I know the life can be so simple.
Yes,
I
it is a
can,
big
yeah,
easier.
I can live a very simple life.
Yes.
I don't need to care about, what's going on in my boss' mind. Yeah, I
Yes.
just do my part well, so that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of the culture too, when we advance to more classes like healthcare, global training, we learn a lot about the culture here in Canada, which is very different from China, Japan. If you go for a job interview, you'll find this with your children. There are certain things you don't ask. We don't care how old you are. Are you married? No. We don't ask these questions. Are you married? No. How old are you? No. Do you have children? We don't ask any of these. We want to know if you can do the job. That's what we want to know. Can you do the job?
Yeah.
So when I was hired here, how old are you? Oh, get it. And even, we don't even have a picture.
Oh, yeah.
They say in Japan, in China, do you have to put the picture?
Yes, we
Oh,
need
you
to take a
do?
professional picture on
Ah.
the resume.
Like a
yeah.
passport.
Yeah.
Even, yeah.
Okay. Here in Canada, we worry about your experience and more your experience than actually, I think, your education. How good are you as a doctor? For example, I'd rather go to a doctor who's been a doctor for 20 years than someone only 1 year. So experience is very important in Canada, for sure. So you found that funny when you came to Canada? Oh, la, 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 la. Actually, all the West Coast, Vancouver down to California, very similar to Eastern Canada, no. But the West, we call it la la. La la la. Oh, la la, let's go for a party, let's go for a hike. We say we work hard, but party hard too in
Yeah.
Canada. Yeah, you find that different from China. China, you work hard.
That's it.
And then you go for tea. You go for tea. Another funny thing, the difference is in China, everybody drinks hot water.
Yes.
So all my students, cold water. I can't imagine drinking hot water. Never in my life. Well, tea or soup, not coffee. But just hot water because you believe it's good for your health, huh? Cold water, so it's a cultural thing. So a lot of our experience in what we're doing with the activities is geared to, I would say, the Canadian culture, but it really is based on the British culture. It's based on that. Our grammar, our languages. When I went to school in Vancouver, all my teachers were from England. All, and now half Canadian, British. Now it's different, of course. And when my children went to French school, they were both from Quebec or France. Because you get a slightly different accent. What accent did you find hard, Ken, to understand?
In terms
Scottish, American?
English?
Oh, English.
No, sorry. You mean like in terms of the
Yeah, like South Africa, America, Scotland. Or did you understand them all?
I think Irish.
Irish,
Irish is the hardest.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea what they are talking about. Like I live long enough with, and if you're mentioning about hardcore Australian,
Yeah.
that is like they just open their mouth and make sound. I have no idea. Yeah. Other than that, I know a lot of Chinese have problem with Indian accents. I'm okay with that. Just Irish and really Australian accents is the worst. Because they use different sound, I believe, different vowel and stuff.
Yes.
And it's how they pronounce the sound, which is so different. Right? English is now the international language around the world. Unfortunately for you, okay, for me, English has the greatest vocabulary in the world too. And because of the advent of digital technology, we have more words added now to our vocabulary than the time of Shakespeare. So when William Shakespeare was around in the early 16th century, late 15th, 16th,
Doesn't matter.
he added so many words to our vocabulary, but technology is just heaping this vocabulary words on. And then with AI, artificial intelligence, because now we have the word computer, modem, digital. It's just amazing the amount of vocabulary that's coming in. I have a hard time keeping up with it. But you're young, it's no problem. And your children have no problem growing up with computers and things like that. So vocabulary is a big thing too. So you're constantly having to learn this vocabulary. And then of course the different accents. Like I said in America, drives me crazy, but yeah, only one accent in English I didn't understand. I understood the words, but it was the way they put the words together. Was a gal from South Africa. She had a strong accent, but the way they put the words together, I couldn't understand them. It was very strange. I know the words, but I don't know what you're talking about. So we can know the words like city, but then when you put the word city into a sentence, I live in a city, okay, but they would mix it up so that I couldn't understand I live in a city. It's very strange. I'm sure you have that in your language too.
You mean in terms of the placement of the words?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
like
And their idioms were completely different.
like Master Yoda.
Yeah, like Yoda. City I live in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure you have that in Chinese too. Is
Yeah,
there
we
a
do.
Chinese accent you find hard to understand?
Of course
Or
not.
no?
Nah. If it's, I would say if you're talking about the Asian accents, that is gonna be make it hard. Japanese is a little bit harder because how they interpret and pronounce like
Yeah.
articulate their couple like particular punctuation and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But isn't the kanji the same?
That is you mean do you mean
The
like
characters, aren't they the same?
no they're
Oh,
absolutely different.
Oh.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought they were the same.
There is some common because just like the country in Europe, they some of the country they share the same syllable, like alphabet, but because of the culture we are in close proximity. But when it comes to the actual usage and pronunciation and the meaning, a lot of the time they are different.
That makes sense. Okay. So any questions so far? Any questions about anything? Jackie, you're the student here.
Yeah. Maybe I'm the only one.
Yeah,
But I can understand you almost 80%.
Oh, nice.
Because maybe your pronunciation is very, very good. English, like in Chinese, see 普通话, like normal.
Mandarin.
Mandarin, yeah, Mandarin, like so. But for other people, like in the street or shopping mall or to buy to the teller, when they said something, maybe they quick,
Too quickly.
Mm.
or different accent or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
right. Indian
I
accent.
understand.
Especially Indian.
How do our students overcome those like barriers to our class? Like
In listening?
how do we help them?
Well, the listening component, which is really good with this at Cambridge, is it has different English accents. You'll be listening to a British, Australian, American, Canadian. So you're listening to all these different accents. So that's what you're talking about. Vancouver is known for its good English. It is. If you're natural born, like me, natural born. Because all my teachers were British. Even though we don't have a British accent, our English is very good. And we don't have a big influence from America like you do in Toronto. And of course, Quebec is all French. It's a little bit different. But so that's the good thing about this program, is all different accents, really, when we're doing this. A lot of teachers supplement their teaching with this. I have two workbooks that have different accents, one from Australia, and you're going to hear the difference between them. It's just a matter of, for you, it's a little bit harder because your ear is not trained, but your children will have no problem with that for sure. I understand because when I go to Europe, all my grandparents are there. I'm not French, but when I'm listening to a person in France, but Switzerland, they speak slowly, I can understand. How you get around that really, Jackie, is to say, speak slower, please, speak slower. Even then, if they're not a native Canadian, they may not understand you.
Yeah.
Because once again, Canada is a land of immigration. It's not, we call China a pure nation, pure language, because it's so old. So you go back thousands of years. Whereas in Canada, we don't have that. So when you come to Canada, we just are used to people from all over the world. And we're used to hearing the different languages all the time. So it's a little bit different in that sense, yeah. So we've done some conversation, we've done vocabulary, back and forth conversations. But now I'm going to supplement, because the TH sound, the TH sound in English, very important. I always do this. Okay, this is you. This is you. Okay, to make the TH sound, and this is air, this is air. To make this sound correctly, this is your tongue. As the air comes out, you make the sound and you pull it back like this. Can you say that? Pull the tongue back quickly. We really don't want to go. No, it's not like that. Your jaw must be open when you make this sound. So the air comes out, tongue like this, TH. When it is in the initial position, for example, thank. Three.
Think.
Three. Yeah, pull that tongue back quickly. 1 minute. Okay, when it's in the medial position, like this. Now remember, it's always exactly the same. Thanks. 3.
Thanks.
Birthday.
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 Mother.
Mother.
The most difficult one is what we call the final position.
With.
When it's in the final position, this is the medial, and this is the initial. It becomes a bit more difficult with.
With.
We don't want to say with. I can see what you're doing. You're going with, but it's not. It's always the same. With.
With.
Both.
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 We don't want to go. Yeah, we don't want to do that. It's. Remember, the jaw is open, it's relaxed. Even native speakers must take this slowly. You can't do it quickly. It's always the same. I'm 33, so you take it slow. I'm 33 on Thursday.
I am 33 on Thursday.
Excellent,
I'm 33 on Thursday.
excellent,
33 on Thursday.
excellent.
I'm 33 on Thursday.
Very good. Okay, now, we always pronounce this except for one thing. When the TH is in the final position only, and when it is plural or possessive, we don't say it. For example, cloth.
Cloth.
This is cloth, the cloth. We always say it cloth. But when it becomes plural, we don't say it. Clothes. I like your clothes. I like your clothes.
Clothes.
When we have a name like this, what's your name? Oh, Ruth. Ruth. We do say it. You're still pulling your mouth back. Ruth. Ruth. When it becomes possessive, you don't say it. I have Ruth's book. So the only time we do not say this is when it's plural at the final position or if it's possessive.
Mhm.
What's your daughter's name? My daughter's name is Beth. My
Beth.
daughter's name is Beth. My name is Gwyneth.
Gwyneth.
So it's a very important sound in English. TH. My son's name is Matthew. A
Matthew.
lot of TH in
Matthew.
English, a lot. Matthew. And my daughter's name is Beth.
Beth.
My name is Gwyneth.
Do you like this song?
Well, it's in my language.
Yeah.
So supplement the little bit of language. Let's do some practice, okay? Let me just
Nice.
send this to you. Okay. So generally, of course, we work with a partner.
Yep.
We work with a partner.
Yeah.
So
So
we would actually now do, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just get mine. I'm going to listen to. Okay, so now we would work with a partner,
Mhm.
okay? For example, where's Thelma going to sit? Thelma's going to sit in the third row in the fourth seat. Okay, let me hear you two. So you can say Thelma, Seth, Judith, it doesn't matter. So I will walk around the class and I will listen to what you're saying. Okay, go ahead, I'm listening.
Okay.
Where's the Selma going to sit?
Yeah.
Selma's going to sit in the third row
Okay.
in the fourth seat.
Yeah, so you would work with a partner, you
So
two,
we'll
and then you
ask.
two. Okay? So you, for example,
Where,
Please going to.
Go ahead.
So oh yeah.
You
so
can say any friends here, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then you answer, right?
Okay.
where the
So I ask you
Yeah.
the simple. Where is Seth Elizabeth going to sit?
In the
Elizabeth is.
Third row
Where is
in the fourth seat. Right?
that's right, so it's,
There's no.
Okay. Then I found it.
Third row.
go ahead, I'm listening.
My
Elizabeth
turn.
Where's Elizabeth?
is going to sit in
Timothy
the
or Timothy?
Which one?
fourth row
So remember,
in
TH
the
is always the
sixth
same, it's like this.
seat.
Timothy.
Oh,
Timothy.
that's-
Remember
Yeah.
also,
Timothy.
in English,
Where's-
when you have a word, for example,
Yeah.
just a pronunciation,
Where's Anthony sits? Going to sit.
when you have a word in English
Anthony.
that ends in Y,
Anthony is going to
90%
sit
of our
in the
words take the long E sound.
fifth
Timothy,
row,
Timothy.
row,
Oh,
happy.
long sounds.
happy.
three,
So when a
Third-
word ends in
third
Y,
seat.
Yeah.
Third seat.
90% take the
And
long
then
E.
you can ask.
Very
Okay.
happy.
Very.
So as I'm listening, when pronunciation questions come up, I'm going to answer it.
Oh,
So if you see a name like this, Timothy,
Timothy.
Timothy.
Tammy,
Timothy.
Tammy,
Tammy.
very,
Travis.
no, just words that end in Y in English. 90% of our words that end in Y take the long E. 10% take the long Y, like deny.
Oh,
But 90%, you can be sure,
E.
will end in E, a long E.
E.
And our long vowels are really stressed.
E.
Timothy, I'm
Timothy.
very happy.
I'm
I live in the
happy.
city. I
Yeah.
live in the city. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Okay.
So it's your turn.
Okay. Where is Ted going to
This
sit?
Timothy. Where's Timothy?
Sorry,
going
like
to
who
sit?
you are? Ted?
Yeah.
Timothy.
You like Ted?
Timothy.
This is Ted.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Ted's going to sit in the fourth row in the third seat.
Where's Travis?
Very
going to
good.
sit?
Thank you.
Going to sit in
Um,
the third row in the
where's-
fourth seat.
Edith
where is
going to sit.
Oh, okay. Edith is going to sit in the fifth rows in the fourth seat. Fourth seat.
Not bad, yeah,
Okay.
good, good.
Good.
Class.
Yeah. Um,
Patricia.
where is Tracy going to
Patricia.
sit?
Tracy is going to
So
sit in the
is
third
in the
row,
first
in the
syllabus?
fifth seat.
Well, no, it's 3 syllables,
Where's
Patricia.
Luther going to
Patricia.
sit?
So he's on the
Luther
second
is
one.
going to
Yeah,
Second
it's
is
2
the-
syllables,
the
the first one, like
second row.
name. But Patricia,
the
the
second
third
row is
Patricia.
seventh
Patricia.
seat.
Patricia. Third one.
Seventh.
Third syllabus. Patricia.
Yeah.
Patricia.
And
Patricia. Where's
And,
Patricia? Where's
Yeah.
We're almost
Patricia
done.
going to
yeah,
sit?
yeah.
Vancouver,
Tina,
Vancouver. third
where's,
one.
am I on?
Vancouver.
Where's
Yeah.
Tina is
Vancouver.
going to sit? Where is Tina going to sit?
Tina is
Vancouver.
going to
Oh, I
sit
thought
in the
it's on the
third row
second
in the
one.
It is
first
on the
seat.
second one. Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Where's
Patricia.
the
Where's Patricia going to sit? Patricia's going to sit in the
Theodore?
third row
You mean
in the fourth
Theodore, what's
seat.
Theodore?
Theodore?
Where, oh,
Hi, Gwyneth. I wonder how do you properly pronounce the name of Theodore?
Which one?
this one.
Fourth row, seventh seat.
Theodore.
Theodore.
It's still the same, TH,
Henry
Theodore.
going to sit.
Theodore.
Theodore.
Going to sit
Theodore.
in the
Oh,
third
that's a
row.
name.
Theodore.
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 Most people say Ted for short.
Oh, that's Ted. Oh, okay.
Yeah, most people say Ted for short.
Oh, nice.
Theodore.
Theodore.
Or Theo, but most people say Ted.
Yeah,
Theodore.
because it's hot. Theodore. Where's Theodore going to sit?
Theodore is going to sit in the fourth row,
Yeah, last one.
seventh seat.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Queen.
Queen.
Where
Like Queen
is
Elizabeth.
Edith?
Elizabeth.
Where
Edith
Elizabeth going to
going to
sit?
sit.